Welcome back to Tour de France Beyond the Podium. We're deep into the Pyrenees, looking ahead at tomorrow's big stage, the final showdown in the Pyrenees. Tons of climbing out there on this route. 182 kilometers from Pau to Luchon-Superbagnères. Super bangers, as Christian Vandevelde says. Yeah, this is the finale in the Pyrenees. 16,000 feet of climbing up over the Tourmalet mid-stage, then the Col d'Aspin, then the same climb as today at the Col de Peyresourde, minus the finish to the Altaport we saw today, before a hard 12 kilometers at 7.3% to Superbagnères.
Yeah, look at that. Just a sawtooth, shark teeth of a profile. And Brent, I gotta say, this has to be considered the Queen stage.
Definitely of the Pyrenees. I think it's right up there with the Courchevel stage, the Col de la Loze stage in the Alps. I think that one actually has more climbing than this.
Okay.
Which is hard to believe when you say 16,000 feet of climbing.
16,000.
And they're going to see even more in the Alps. But yeah, this one's got a big X in terms of impact, in terms of GC mayhem, maybe potential stage winners out of a breakaway. KOM, big KOM points, 55 points on the road tomorrow. If anyone wants to pose a threat to Tadej Pogačar in that KOM jersey, it's got to start going down tomorrow. Someone's got to go.
Lots of points.
Someone with some points already needs to go over the Tourmalet.
Yeah, who do you think?
Yeah.
Maybe like a Woodsy?
Woodsy, Lenny will be going.
Lenny will be going.
Yeah.
Maybe Ben Healy.
Flatter start, which is interesting. That's like a nice breakaway combination situation of climbers getting in there with teammates. A bit of a timing, hectic
Sprinters
thing.
for the green jersey.
Sprinters
We've seen a lot of that.
Yeah.
Matthew Van Der Poel will probably want to get in there, get him some intermediate sprint points.
All sorts of like different scenarios and options tomorrow. There's just no easy way from start to finish going over all that climbing. One big question is if UAE would control for the stage. Like we look at the time gaps, you look at Tadej's won 4 stages, you think, no way at this point. But we heard him after the stage give an interview, and he said, well, yeah, the priority is the yellow jersey, but we'll see how the team feels. If they feel good, I would like to win another stage. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, well, okay. So I'm actually just concocting a scenario in my mind, and I know I'm getting the nickname of Tin Hat Tejay, but that intermediate sprint point is right at the base of the Tourmalet. I could see some sprint teams controlling to the base of the Tourmalet, not letting any breakaway go, and then full explosion, attacks on the Tourmalet, and man, that will cause some chaos. And you're going to have to, if you have any weak links in your team, they're going to be shed immediately on the Tourmalet.
The sprinters would be so blown.
Yeah, that would maybe like, the sprinters would have to be real confident that they can survive these climbs.
It'd be hard to control too.
Limit.
We're looking at 70 kilometers of uphill valley. I think there's so many good climbers who also want to be in the break.
You know that the breakaway is going to take a while to get established. Once it does, and so then you get 30 kilometers for free, and then immediately the sprint teams, they're like, okay, we want this intermediate
ride
points.
40K.
If they don't ride for it, Tadej Pogačar, he's going to end up winning a bunch of stages, and he's going to take the green jersey. So they kind of have to get those things. So if the breakaway fight starts on the Tourmalet, this race could really be wide open from very early on, and teams could get isolated. It'll really test the mettle of the teams. Who has the better climbing team? Who can actually take control? Do GC guys like just outside the top 10, like Enric Mas, start going, and then guys get nervous? There's a lot of different scenarios.
Big explosion on the Tourmalet. It could be.
Big explosion on Tourmalet.
Yeah. I think speaking of the teams and the climbing teams and the GC. Before yesterday, we would have said Visma definitely had the better climbing team. They were off the mark yesterday, not having a good day, admittedly. Matteo said no excuses. Today, Sepp was good today. I saw Sepp riding to the finish line in that TT today, nose breathing in the saddle, and he was like
catching
top
Yates.
20, catching his teammate Simon. So if they're back on tomorrow, if they're feeling good, and they don't have one of these days that Matteo had yesterday, I can still see them returning to the script and their original plan of animating the race, pushing the pace, and still going for it.
Yeah, that's what they did both years that Jonas won the Tour. They picked one day, the hardest day of steepest climbs, relentless, and they just set a blistering pace for the entire day. Now, is that going to work this year? The only way that works is if Tadej makes a mistake. If he underfuels, if he has a bad day, even if he's isolated from his team and he has no teammates there, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is follow Jonas. You follow that Visma train, and they'll do the work for you. But if they push that pace and it goes over Tadej's limit, it would have to mean that maybe the effects of the crash from 3 days ago are finally setting in, or he underfueled. Like, it would have to be a mistake from Tadej.
Yeah, and that goes back to this conversation that they're having in the hotel tonight with Jonas and what he wants, what he feels, and we'll have to wait on the road to see. But it's to even have a chance of that happening, they would have to try.
They would have to try, and yeah, I guess that's a matter of if they want to try. Do they want to try to slip Sepp in the breakaway for the KOM jersey of the stage, or let some of their other guys eat? And all Jonas needs to do is Wout.
He's not going to. Yeah, Wout's not playing for the stage relative to how he's climbing and some of the other potential breakaway riders in this race. But if he gets up the road in an early move, then all of a sudden, like, my eyes are a little more lit up.
Yeah,
for potentially
you got a satellite rider up there. He can survive. Link up the way you did with Simon Yates on the Col de Finestre.
It'll be tough. I mean, UAE is, if they're riding how they were yesterday, on the other hand, they can stay together, roll Tim Wellens if he's riding how he was yesterday over 3 climbs. So big day tomorrow in the Pyrenees. Lots of action, breakaways, GC guys, KOM points starting early, 6 a.m. We'll see you back here on Peacock.
For all your cycling content year-round, subscribe to NBC Sports YouTube page. We got it all.